Good evening. This is Laura Casiblanco speaking, and this is also the lesson plan that I was asked to do for the reading activity club, reading club activity. I'm sorry. So here's the description, in which I have to intervene today from 5 to 6 p.m. And it was an activity about reading and writing. And I'm in this very short time, 1 hour. I just had to implement the reading, and the writing was for the students to do um, in the after time of the class. After the class, I'm sorry. So what I have to include was an intercultural exchange about advising visitors, in which the students were asked to review the modal verbs that they had already saw with the teacher Margarita at the click. And this is kind of the age group. Um, was for adults in the level 7, a B1 in the Common European Framework. Um, so 60 minutes, and these are kind of the objectives. And let's continue with the presentation. I created this presentation in order to help myself to organize the information and present it in a very clear way to the students. So what I did was asking them, firstly, how was the well, ask them to guess what was the topic about. So before showing them the title movies, um, then I'm sorry. Okay, this is the second slide, and I asked them the objectives of the movies, trying for them to answer this kind of points about entertainment, that the movies can communicate concepts, ideas, and stories. And for the sake of this activity, as it was about intercultural exchange, the last objective of the movies was mirror aspects of the culture, traditions, or non-conformities within a context. Next slide, I show them the trailer of the movie Parasite, and I asked them these questions, mm, trying to make them analyze that the director objective was to show this movie as an expression of protest against current Korean society, that is full with inequalities, and also how they show different cultural traits, um, as such as the westernization of Korea. So there was the main activity that was reading, but before there was this pre-activity, as we can call it, in which I presented these vocabulary items for them to have a better comprehension of of the reading. As you can see, is just like associating images, and also telling them what kind of word was each one, um, eliciting for their responses and their guessings on what each vocabulary item meant. And next, they had the reading activity. They have to read this. Let's see if I can open it. I think I cannot, but anyways, I can say that I keep reading. So what I did was that in order for the students to have the modal verbs, which was the grammar orientation of this lesson, I adapted a recommendation of a movie uh, for them to have this kind of um, structures for them to practice, right? So basically here there's a person who is recommending the movie Parasite, and is giving some um, reasons that are in accordance with the topic, um, in which a person uh, should advise a visitor or a foreigner. Mm, and also here we can see that the the reasons are very critical thinking related, and also uh, given some space for the students to see how their recommendation was concerned with social criticize um, of of Korea, of what is happening in Korea in many aspects of inequity, um, also with the division that they're having, yeah, in South Korea. Um, Also, they kind of explain some scenes in which they um, show the nonconformity the director has. I'm sorry, and also a lot of population, and they support this this reason with some percentages and some reality, um, um, some reality information relating reality. I'm sorry, um, and that was it. So after that, what they had to do was to answer these questions. How are deer spoons different from gold spoons? That was related to reading comprehension. What does the author mean by mentioning the division between the cities haves and have nots, which relate to a more higher um, cognitive um, higher cognitive development by reading, and then the students were asked to um, produce over what they had read. The next question: what can you understand by the parasitic relationship between the rich and poor? So rather the author mentions it somehow, but they had also to produce. And lastly, in order um, to get into that intercultural skill that they were to develop, was the last question. In your opinion, are there income gaps in Colombia? So they not only have to comprehend everything in regards to South Korea's reality, but also compare what's happening here in Colombia in this concern. Um, and lastly, that was what we did on the hour. Well, we socialized those answers, the previous ones, and then this was the homework. The homework was that they have to suppose that they were in a Colombian film festival, which purpose was to show movies or documentaries, pieces of visual um, productions that represent our culture in different ways. Which different ways? Well, um, as they have to contextualize people who is not from Colombia, they have to contextualize they will have. That's a homework for future. I'm sorry. Um, to 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 speak about culture in different ways, um, as talking about what's happening in Colombia or what was happening in Colombia in a specific time, or simply just giving some cultural aspects or traits for these visitors. Um, so they will have to post the trailer of the documentary or the movie, and they were asked to write a recommendation on it. And also very important was that the film or documentary had to be Colombian, and they had to answer to. I'm sorry. They had to answer to these questions. Well, no, this is the task completion. So within the task, they will have to complete these following requirements. And the first one is why they should see they for they I refer to foreign people or the people who is going to uh, have a look at the Colombian Film Festival. Um, and they have to say why they should see that piece of audiovisual production. Why is it a representation of Colombian culture? And what kind of cultural traits of Colombia they cannot miss in the movie? This for the part of intercultural ability, in which people needs to be firstly very aware of their own culture. So they will have to write between 200 and 250 words, and they in order for them to use the grammar orientation, they have to use the modal verbs for advising or recommending, and they are going to post it. No, I'm sorry. Here, they're going to post their productions on Padlet. So here's the kind of the they already they have already done it. I'm so happy. um this is the Padlet, the board in which they have to upload um what I have already mentioned. And this is kind of uh, again a Colombian Film Festival, and here they are using the grammatic structure: must, should, can. Yeah, it's very good, and I'm very happy about it. This was kind of the example that I gave to them. Thank you. Well, I can show also the lesson plan. These were the materials: presentation, the adaptive reading, the trial of Parasite, and also everything is cited. This is these are the directions or procedure. So here's like the explanation, and the lesson extension is the homework that I had about posting in the Padlet the recommendation of the movie and the trailer. And these are the evaluation measures. I have already talked with teacher Margarita, and she told me that she is going to be in charge of using this rubric for the activity. She liked it a lot. Well, I have made the intervention uh, from 5 to 6 tonight, today. And I asked teacher Margarita to record me, but I don't know, maybe there was some kind of issue or problem with the recording, and she cannot send me that, so that's why I'm recording just the activity. I'm sorry if I can. I will send you the intervention. Thank you, teacher Lorena. Bye bye.